What is up, everybody?
What's going on?
If you're watching the video,
This part.
the only way you're going to see this is if you're watching the video, so I don't even know what I'm saying. But
Okay.
congratulations, you guys, the video watching listeners.
The folks.
Video watching listeners. You
Yeah.
guys get first look at our reaction to the new trailer, the only trailer really, for
The little teaser trailer
for the Joker.
the Batman.
The Batman.
Wow.
See, it's a day. Fun fact, we were supposed to do this yesterday. In fact, we did do this yesterday.
And
we had some technical difficulties. But
yes.
anyway, our audio listeners won't get to experience this, so congratulations. No. You get to check out the new trailer for The Batman, starring Robert Pattinson.
I know, the big reveal.
And well, we'll just get into it. So here's the trailer. Hope you guys enjoys it, and hope you enjoy what we have to say about it.
Yeah.
Here we go. Starts out ominous. DC Comics.
I know. See, now that's just creepy.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
This is bad, okay?
From your secret friend. Who?
Jim Gordon.
Looking serious.
See, that's just awesome.
Let's play a game. Just me and you.
And now we know who the mysterious
Yes.
masked man is. The Riddler.
Oh, first shot right there.
Boom.
I don't know who that is. We got some Jim Gordon behind him. I'm guessing that's...
Becoming quite a celebrity.
So I found out this is like year 2 Batman. Look at Robert Pattinson saving some more people from getting hit by a
Saving
car.
lives. Oh, man. I can only assume that that's the Catwoman.
Oh, that was the Penguin. We got some Joker gang kind of vibes
Yeah.
too. I hope the Joker's not in it, but
The hell are you supposed to be?
yeah. I'm beating you up. That's who I am.
Batman going hard in the paint,
Yeah.
throwing a beat down.
And the new Batmobile.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
Thing's slick.
So beautiful.
It's real. Colin Farrell as the Penguin or Oswald Cobblepot.
Completely unrecognizable,
Like,
too.
you'd never know.
Oh, man.
Okay. Look at him going with the black under his eyes, which is so realistic. It just in the way of
Absolutely.
like anyone that wears a cowl. If I was to get in a Batman costume right now, I'd have to put some black under there.
Yeah. You gots to.
Not gonna look all pretty like those other Batmen.
Batmen.
Yes.
So there we go. That's the teaser trailer.
I'm in.
Just coming out. I'm super pumped for this movie. I am super excited to see what Mr. Pattinson has to offer this role.
I think he's gonna shut a lot of people up.
I hope so, because I'm tired of hearing it.
Yeah. He's done a lot of things since Twilight. And you and I have talked before of just the fact that, those movies aren't the worst movies in the world. And what he brought to it, he brought to it. And if someone was to be like...
Worst movies do, in fact, exist.
Right. If somebody was like, hey, Tucker, I'm going to pay you this much money to be an updated flipper movie.
And I want you to play the dolphin. I'm in.
I'm in. Like
$10 million to dress up like a dolphin and swim around?
Yeah.
Okay.
Seriously. That's what I'm saying.
I'm in.
So Yeah, he rose to stardom because of those movies,
Yeah.
and probably wouldn't be here because of that.
No, and I
So-
just got to remind people, like, okay, I get it. You're not a fan of Twilight.
That's fine.
I'm not a fan of Twilight.
Yeah.
Watch any other movie that the dude's been in.
Yeah.
And then
I've not
Then we can
seen a
talk.
bad movie with him in it.
he's got a tremendous range. The dude knows what's up.
Yeah.
Like, he knows what he's doing. And I think he's going to be great in this role. I always remind people that when Heath Ledger was announced as the Joker in The Dark Knight, it was the
Caught a
same.
lot of
It was
flack.
the same garbage. Like, the guy from 10 Things I Hate About You
Yeah. Now he's the standard.
is gonna play the Joker. What? That's awful. That's a dumb idea. And now he is the apex Joker.
Yeah, he is the standard for which all these other Jokers
Are now going to be held to. And Christian Bale, the same. I
Yeah.
mean, you want to talk about somebody with some huge range. You know what? Let's jump into let's let the audio listeners in on this
what we're
next
doing.
part. So before we go any further, welcome to the podcast, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello, hello.
If you're only listening to this on audio, you're missing the first, I don't know, about 5 or 6 minutes
I was like,
where
you really
we
had to look.
Yeah, I wanted to, like, you're missing about 5 or 6 minutes where we you can see our reaction to the new trailer for the Batman that just came out this weekend. So hop over to our Facebook or YouTube so you can
Watch
that. But going back to Christian Bale,
Yes.
he's the new standard for the Batman as well.
I agree.
You know, until then it was Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
You know, and then we get Christian Bale, who, need I remind you, weighed about 75 pounds less than he did in Batman Begins. Like, just a couple of months.
Yeah.
Because he had lost all that weight to for the Machinist.
Yeah.
And he was a stick figure.
Yeah.
And then started production on Batman Begins. I think it was like less than 3 months later.
Oh yeah. No, he put on muscle.
And so he packed on a ton of muscle. So I
went to
mean,
work.
talking about, again, somebody who's willing to commit to the craft.
Right.
You know, this movie's going to be great.
Yeah.
I got a feeling.
I think
I
it's going to
love
be the new.
The like creepy, like Zodiac alphabet killer type vibe that they're giving to the Joker. We always see the Joker as like this
Riddler.
cartoon. The Joker. I keep saying Joker.
I know you got.
But you know what
got
I
Joker
meant.
on the brain today.
I know, and I don't have a good reason for that.
Yeah. No, they're bringing a new darkness
to the Riddler.
To the Riddler,
And we always see him as more of a caricature, you know, more
like
of a
cartoon.
cartoony type.
Jim Carrey in spandex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, even in like the animated series, and you know, you go back to, of course, Jim Carrey. You go back to even like the original TV series when he was introduced. He was always
very cartoony.
Yeah, and the only iteration of Batman lore where he wasn't was in the show Gotham.
Yes.
You know, so he was,
which was kind of cool because you saw the origins of the Riddler.
And so he wasn't, you know, a goofball in that
and
show.
Not to go off on my whole, you know, time travel thing, because evidently that's a can. No, I lost
It's a jar.
So
Yeah.
I watched that show. I enjoyed that show, but because of me nerding out, I'm like, some things didn't line up.
Yeah.
And
Well,
that started to bug me. You know, just
the age difference between Jim Gordon and Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, Jim Gordon and Bruce Wayne and everyone else. You know, his whole rogues gallery was
with a couple of exceptions. You know, we had Selena, who was his age.
Yeah,
we
Selena
had
Kyle.
We had Jared, that was his age.
Yeah.
Who was presumably a Joker character.
And they started doing weird stuff with that, and I wish that they would have just chosen a path a little bit.
But
because
was
he was
some
really,
dichotomy
really
there
good.
that didn't work out for me. You know, it was cool, but again, when you look at those age differences between, yes, the Penguin, for example, and
was
Bruce Wayne,
older.
We're talking a
Yeah.
20+ year age
which is
difference.
which is not the case. I liked what they did. I just wish they would have
And that was
paid more attention to that. Everybody else, the Rogues Gallery, was off being grown-ups and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then here's Bruce Wayne being a kid.
Well,
and it's like, all right.
Among the many problems that I had with Joaquin Phoenix's The Joker,
yes,
that was an issue that I had with that too.
Yeah,
was that he meets Bruce Wayne,
who's a young
as a
boy.
child,
right?
But he's a man in his presumably mid-40s at the time. So by the time Bruce Wayne could grow up, you know, by the time Bruce's parents gets killed and he grows up to be Batman in his what we can assume is probably his mid-20s,
right?
When he finally puts the cowl on. We're talking the Joker's going to be in his late 50s, early 60s.
Yeah. It's not
a timeline that jives. It just doesn't work.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I'm like totally into these stories until they do things like that, and I'm all okay.
But then again, you just have to sometimes enjoy the show.
Exactly.
So I try not to get too deep into that, like that fan theory,
right?
Because I'm like,
right. Sometimes, like you said, you just gotta ride the roller coaster and enjoy it,
and I'm here for it.
But yeah, I really like what they're doing. That it's kind of year 2, so it's him little experienced, but I enjoy the fact of
it's not going to be a Batman origin story again.
And I have high hopes that it's going to be, well, because of it being the Riddler, you're going to see more of the detective side of Batman, which has kind of gotten lost.
Yes.
You see little snippets, but it doesn't delve into...
Look at the Nolan trilogy.
Right.
Everyone does his detective work for him.
Right.
Lucius Fox does his detective work for him.
Right.
And he just goes in and he plays the muscle.
Right.
That's really
the big part of it.
That's the Nolan trilogy.
Right.
He doesn't do a whole lot of detective work, and
no,
he is the world's greatest detective.
But you don't see that.
Yeah.
So you did see some in, I know it's not our personal favorite, but Batman Forever with Val Kilmer when he was going up against the Riddler and Two-Face. I think it's that one.
Yeah.
Listen, just quick note to Hollywood. Stop taking notes from those movies where we have to have multiple bad guys.
Yeah. I mean, that's what ruined Spider-Man 3.
Yeah.
That's what ruined... Well, there's a lot that ruined Batman Forever and...
Yeah, they got into the neon colors and they made it more cartoony.
Yeah.
They went back to the 60s wham pow feeling, I guess.
Well, and there was even that one scene in Batman and Robin where Robin lands on something. It's partially submerged in water.
It's holy rusted metal.
Yeah, holy rusted metal Batman. And it was
funny,
a fun little
hat tip
tag to it, but
No, they had... Listen, Arnold as Mr. Freeze was not the worst. Just because the size and everything of him.
Sure.
It was almost cool. And then it happened.
Yeah.
And it was just those...
Well, see, I get confused as to which villains were even in those movies. In each one. Because I know we had Mr. Freeze. I know we had Two-Face. I know we had...
Forever was Riddler and Two-Face.
Okay.
That was it.
And
then Batman and Robin had Poison Ivy... Mr. Freeze, and Bane. But the Bane was not...
Here's one point that I'll give to that Bane. At least I could understand what he was saying.
Yeah, listen, I'm going to go
Tom
back
Hardy.
to... Out of the Nolan trilogy, the last one, The Rises, is not my favorite.
No.
Tom Hardy, I give him credit. It's huge. I like that they made Bane for... But it's kind of like the first time watching Star Wars Episode 1 with Jar Jar. You kind of figure out what he's he's talking. So you have to watch the movie a couple times before you go, oh,
that's what he's saying.
Misa is Jar Jar Binks.
Yes.
Got it. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, I didn't get a lot of what he was saying until I watched it at home and could turn on the subtitles.
Yeah, it was too much.
Yeah.
I kind of, I like aspects to it, but it wasn't my favorite out of. They could have done Begins and Dark Knight and left it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of course, I hated the title as soon as I heard it. Like, I just wish that they would have been like The Greatest Detective or something. Like, I felt like they had something, like he has so many nicknames or whatever.
Sure.
And yeah, the Crusader, the Cape Crusader, something. But I thought they were doing that with the Superman movies too, when it was like Man of Steel, and it was like Man of Tomorrow, or some. They could have done
those
something.
Movies suck too.
Well, yes, the Nolan trilogy didn't suck in comparison. The third one's just not my favorite.
Yeah, no, it's my least favorite by a good wide margin.
It was almost like you see with other movies where a new director comes into a trilogy. Star Wars, for example. When he came in, it's like, hey, those last movies, I'm just going to flip everything on its head.
Right.
Like, I'm going to systematically just destroy everything that those two movies created and built up.
Yeah, like, nice franchise you got there.
Hey, that's a really cool Batmobile. I'm going to blow up.
Destroyed it.
Yeah, I'm going to blow up as many as I can.
Yeah.
Batcave.
Kaboom.
Oh, that's a really cool stadium you got there.
Boom.
Literally. So yeah, it's. Oh, I'll watch it, but it was kind of like we're trying to trick you, and we're like, oh, is it supposed to be? Was that supposed to be a surprise that she was bad?
Yeah,
because I kind of figured that out
pretty quickly.
Yeah,
but I mean,
she was
as far as like trilogies go, my major complaint with the Nolan trilogy is that he didn't just close the book.
Yeah. When he could.
Like, he closed the book off camera.
Right.
Where he said, I'm not doing this anymore.
Right.
But then when you watch the movie, you go, but did you close the book?
Yeah. You just kind of, like, the ending is kind of, and it's like setting it up.
Get an opportunity to try and carry this franchise a little further.
Yeah. Well, and it's just
poor guy.
Yeah.
He never.
I think that's why.
I think he's great, actually.
Yeah.
And it's a shame that he doesn't get more opportunities to do. Like, he could have carried an additional movie.
Right.
It
would have been really cool.
Let's watch that. Let's watch them team up for a movie.
Yeah, but it wouldn't have been them team. Like, it's just kind of like, hey, here's the keys to the Batcave.
Yeah. Do
carry
a
on.
Nightwing type of scenario.
I don't really know you. I don't know your training and all that stuff, but here you go.
Here you go.
Here's the keys.
Give it a shot.
Yeah, it's just like it ended on a weird note to me, and it was just kind of like, okay, cool. Dark Knight I can watch
over and
over again, and
even with its 3 endings.
Yeah, it had a real Return of the King.
Mm-hmm.
And when I watched it in the theater,
nope, it's not.
Yeah,
over.
When I watched it in the theater, I'm like, oh, that was a pretty cool. Oh, we're still going. Okay, but that was a pretty cool. Oh, yeah, we're still going.
Like,
but
so
you can't
much
be
so,
mad
like,
at it.
I hadn't watched it in a long time. I rewatched it again maybe just a couple months ago.
Mm-hmm.
But I hadn't watched it for a while, and I had completely forgotten about the scene when they're on the ferry.
Oh, the whole. It's like
the criminals are on one ferry and the civilians are on the other, and they have to decide who blows the other one up. Right. I forgot that happened.
That whole scene happened.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. Because it was that false ending.
Yeah, it's a stop that. Oh,
wait.
We're still. That
still
wasn't
playing.
the real.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we. And as the Joker says, here we go. But then they don't.
They don't go.
So yeah, no, I Rises is just not my favorite.
Well,
it's cool, but it's
Yeah.
not. I don't know.
So
Some casting I would have done differently
because we rarely get a chance to talk about something decent from DC.
Yeah.
Let's talk about something else that's not decent from DC, or looks a little bit underwhelming, at least from my.
Have you watched it? The trailer.
The trailer for
the new
Suicide Squad.
Oh, is that where you're?
Yeah,
okay.
I was just underwhelmed by that.
See, I didn't know which direction. They
so
had
DC fandom was this last weekend, and so we're seeing some new trailers and teasers and things like that coming out from DC properties.
Right.
And the other one, one of the other ones that's somewhat notable was a trailer for a new Suicide Squad movie.
Yes.
Which retains precisely one member of the Suicide Squad. Oh, two. Sorry, Boomerang Man.
Dose. Yeah, it's one of those.
We get Harley Quinn back. We get Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn back, and we get Boomerang Man played by.
I'm running blank.
Okay.
Yeah, that guy, Jay Courtney.
Yes, there you go.
Whoa, Rolodex.
So, and we've got some other big names. We've got Idris Elba as
I don't know those characters.
I don't know the characters themselves. He wasn't the Peacemaker because that was John Cena.
Bum, bum, bum.
So, but yeah, so we've got a new Suicide Squad movie that doesn't bring back hardly any of the original characters.
Yeah.
And leaves out characters that, in my opinion, are crucial to the Suicide Squad. It's like, hey, we're gonna make a new Justice League movie, but we're only gonna use Cyborg and I don't know,
Elastic Man.
Yeah, we'll use one key player, but you're gonna get Cyborg and you're gonna get just Wonder Woman.
Yeah,
and Cyborg and the Flash. That's the
and the Wonder Twins.
Yeah, Wonder Twins. Yeah, but. So we get Harley Quinn, but we don't get Deadshot at all. And to me, Deadshot is if Deadshot's not in it, it's not really a Suicide Squad story.
Right. Well, and it's I'll be brutally honest as far as this. I don't know the Suicide Squad comics.
A super fan.
No.
But
in the first movie, I was kind of like
X-Men without Wolverine.
Yeah. Well, you could because the X-Men started without. But yes, no, I know what you mean. No, but as far as the first movie, I've seen parts of it and everything, and it was just hard to get into. And
I just rewatched it again, just a few days ago.
Yeah, I think the whole Jared Leto is the Joker and his over the top kind of like, what are you doing, man? When is he like a nightclub going, shiny jacket wearing?
Yeah,
stop it.
Yeah.
Just stop what you're doing.
Tattooed forehead.
Yeah, it was just, I don't know. I've seen things, Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. I think that's good casting and everything. But I'm confused by this because now James Gunn is coming in to direct this. Who's Guardians of the Galaxy fame, can do teamwork kind of thing. But it's like, are we pretending
few that has survived cancellation?
Yeah, are we? Yeah, seriously, are we pretending that first one didn't happen? Is this a sequel? Because the first one was Suicide Squad.
Yeah,
and this is the Suicide Squad. So it's like I don't know enough to know. Did that one not happen?
I got to imagine it did, and here's why.
Is it like now
because
Wolverine Origins?
We don't know. We don't know much about the movie in general because this was just a teaser that kind of just introduced the characters in the show. But what we did have was, and I'm so bad with these names, so I apologize, everybody. But the lady who was heading up the
Amanda
program,
Waller.
Yes. She was in How to Get Away with Murder. which was a TV show.
Well, the actress was, not Amanda
Well,
Waller.
yeah, not yeah.
Well, Amanda Waller was also trying to figure out how to get away with
But
it.
so that's where the trailer opens is
Right.
with her. So it's got to be at least some kind of a continuation. Otherwise, why
That's why I'm just
why not recast Harley Quinn too?
Right. If you're gonna redo the Suicide Squad,
if you're redoing it, then you should recast every role.
yeah,
And then they could have cast Idris Elba as Deadshot if that's what they wanted to do,
or something.
but they chose not to do that.
He's a different character.
Apparently,
but
Will Smith just had scheduling conflicts,
or just better things to do.
That's what was cited in the.
Because Will Smith's not doing as much anymore movie wise. He's more YouTube, becoming quite the YouTube star. But yeah, like so the other one was just there's the third guy.
Bloodsport.
That's his name.
Idris Elba's name.
Is that the Vin Diesel?
Huh?
Isn't that what the new Vin Diesel movie?
Wait, what? Vin Diesel is gonna star in a reboot of Bloodsport?
Not
starring
Bloodsport.
Jean-Claude Van Damme?
No. What's that new Vin Diesel movie that just came out? Blood something, where he was like regenerated. He was the. Oh my gosh!
You
You're
lost
making
me.
me look this up now. I'm guessing it's
Stand
not the
by.
same. Are you doing it?
I'm on it.
Okay.
I see. Oh, Bloodshot.
Bloodshot. Okay.
Bloodshot.
Sorry. It's just a lot of blood.
A lot of blood.
A lot of blood going on. That was like Triple X, but he could regenerate or something.
A slain soldier is reanimated with superpowers.
What?
All right.
I'm surprised we didn't discuss that one at all.
Oh, and here's some breaking news. Ryan Reynolds is trying to rope Vin Diesel in some way, shape, or form into the Deadpool franchise.
Okay.
So
Not mad. As long as the Deadpool franchise
keeps
continues.
going. Yeah. Like that's all I really want.
Yeah. I heard he's trying to rope up a couple of other people. I want to see a spin-off of Hobbs and Shaw
Do you?
with Ryan Reynolds' character, or at least bring him back in another Hobbs and Shaw. That was probably like my favorite part of that movie
Oh, for sure.
when he showed up.
Just
His
character added so much, even though it was a minor role. It added so much.
Yeah, and
to
it was
the
little,
whole movie.
spurts throughout the movie where it's just like, we're best friends.
Yeah.
No, you're not. Like,
Yes, we are.
enjoyable.
Yeah.
So,
was good.
yeah, I forgot what little movies I watched. I didn't see anything new. I did do Upload. The little 10 episodes. I'm still reeling from that. It was kind of
It's
a
a
little.
cool show, man.
It was really cool. Little sprinkle too much at times.
Yeah.
Just a little at parts where you're just like,
I can hear that.
That wasn't really necessary, but okay, cool.
I
You're watching it, you're like making sure the kids don't come in.
Right.
You're like, hey, weird things are happening. But it had a kind of a crazy cliffhanger that's messed with my mind a little bit. Left me reeling for season 2.
Unfortunately, it's going to be a good little while before season 2
I know.
comes out.
I'm like, hey, as my wife
Because I
says,
don't know
like,
if they got corona'd or not, as far as production schedule, which is going to be which
A lot
was
of
the
shows.
case for a lot of stuff. But The Batman was supposed to come out in July of next year.
yeah, I saw that
And it did get pushed back to October 1st.
that trailer contains only 25% of the movie.
Yeah,
that
they've
was
only
done.
filmed 25% of the movie.
So I'm intrigued to see the rest of it. I'm super excited. DC Fandom, the other thing, they released a new trailer for Wonder Woman 84, which is cool. I liked the first one. I'm just kind of like,
Yeah.
I was intrigued to see. I'm a Kristen Wiig fan, and so I was intrigued to see her kind of do this
she's gonna be a weird
role.
She was an odd choice for the cheetah.
But I don't hate it.
No, I don't.
Because I've seen her in more serious role. If you've ever seen like The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, you know, her role in it's not super funny or anything like that. So I think she can play the dramatic scenes, you know, the dramatic actress. But they did release the first look at her in her full cheetah form.
Yeah.
Which has me a little concerned. Looks cool, but the scenes that they showed, like, it looked a little
ambitious.
Not the best.
Yeah.
Looked like 90s CGI or 84.
Yeah.
CGI.
Are we using CGI from 1984?
Yeah, and they're doing things like just interesting story, like bringing back Chris Pine as the guy that I don't understand. Listen, for as good as Wonder Woman was, I'm just going to flat out say it, they took a lot from Captain America. First Avenger. I watched that and I'm like, I've seen this movie before. Oh, they're getting in a plane to try and save the day at the end. Got it. Got it. Yeah, like just a lot from it. But, you know, I'm not saying it was the worst DC movie out there. It was just kind of...
In fact, it's... I mean, if you isolate, and you have to almost, all standalone Batman movies from the rest of DC.
Yeah. Well, because
you've got some real gems in the standalone Batman. You really only have two turds in that world.
Right.
You know, and we're talking about 2, 5, 6 different movies, or 8 different movies, and 6 of them are pretty darn good.
Of the DC.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of
I guess 10 if you count some of the couple animated ones. Yeah, the movies.
Which is kind of like their own thing.
And things like that. But I'm saying, out of 6, you got 4. Out of 8 movies, you've got 6 of them that are really, really good.
Yeah, the things that bug me about the DC movies is I feel like there's a conference room somewhere on the Warner Brothers lot.
There's a boardroom.
There's a boardroom where they have all the Marvel movies like lining the wall. And that's their guide for their movies. Wonder Woman was really Captain America. Aquaman, probably the best non-Batman, like DC movie, I think. A real Thor vibe. A really, really big Thor vibe. You're like, okay, cool. Man. Suicide Squad, a real Guardians of the Galaxy vibe.
Yeah.
So it's very fitting that they're just like, you know what, we're going to try again, but we're going to bring in the director of Guardians of the Galaxy.
We're gonna go hard in the yard. Yeah. Well, it's like,
you know, it's just, and Superman and Batman are the only ones that have their own
movies,
but they're like their own stories.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Listen, Marvel and DC copied off of each other
a lot.
Yeah. Guess what? Green Arrow and Hawkeye.
Same character.
Same character. So it's just
they're not. They're in that non-meta human. If we're talking DC, they're not meta human.
Right.
You know, he's not meta human. Yeah. He's just a dude who got real strong and then learned how to shoot a bow real good.
Like really well. Yeah. And he's one of the top tier Justice League people. But and Hawkeye is Hawkeye. Yeah. I'm always weird saying Hawkeye because
it sounds like you're
saying hot guy.
Yeah.
And listen, Jeremy Renner's perfectly fine.
Yeah. He's
like,
not an unattractive human male.
Right. So it's just weird when I'm just like, hey, did you see Hawkeye?
What?
Which one?
Yeah. Jeez, he must work out.
But yeah, I think just the DC, I feel like they missed a really golden opportunity that DC had over Marvel, which is their television shows.
Well, and they rushed this whole thing.
Yeah.
The creating of the Justice League movie was so hurried.
Then it turned out garbage.
Yeah, you didn't take the time.
Which
For the most part, I guess you could count the Henry Cavill Superman films as part of that canon.
Right.
But you've given no real backstory to your Batman.
No.
Okay, you've given us your Wonder Woman. You've given us Aquaman. And again, Cyborg could be one of those characters like Hawkeye in the Avengers, where you just bring him in.
Right.
You know, like, oh, hey, he's here.
Well, the bad part...
And you could almost do the same thing with Green Arrow, but you left out some huge establishing opportunities in films that led up to the first Justice League movie.
Yeah, well, the problem is the Aquaman movie and the Wonder Woman movie...
Came out afterward.
Came out after Justice League.
Yeah.
And so you showed up with like a whole bunch of people that you just assumed everybody knew.
Well, yeah.
You didn't get a chance to get to know them.
But, you know, one thing that the MCU does pretty well is continuity.
Yes.
So you have this Wonder Woman movie that comes out, and you have this Aquaman movie that comes out after the Justice League movie comes out.
Right.
But the events that happened in the Justice League movie and Batman versus Superman and...
Take place after those movies. No. Well, the Wonder Woman movies.
They don't... All I'm saying is they make no mention. Obviously, the Wonder Woman movie was set
right
a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. But Aquaman sure wasn't.
Yeah. Yeah. Aquaman took place after Justice League.
But the events that happened in Justice League had not yet occurred.
What?
Or at least I didn't pick that up. I don't know. It just didn't seem like there was enough continuity.
Because they talked about...
Did they? That's how little I paid attention to the movie.
Right. That's what... But the Wonder Woman movies, even Wonder Woman 84...
will happen prior to...
Batman versus Superman.
Yeah.
So it's just really confusing, and I just feel like
it's just bad continuity. Yeah. That's what I mean. Like, none of it sticks. None of it works.
I feel like they're in the conference room and they're just throwing darts.
Yeah.
And just go, all right, how can we bring in some
I feel like it's more of like an obsessed stalker type vibe.
Yeah.
Like, you remember...
They did really well. Yeah.
You remember... What was it? Was it in Billy Madison? Steve Buscemi's character in Billy Madison.
Oh, yeah. Where he called him up and like, hey, I'm really sorry I bullied you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Puts the
lipstick. You know, like, I feel like it's less of a boardroom and more of a that guy.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, well...
Which I'm all for.
I'm hunting down DC movies.
Yeah, I'm all for people going, hey, that person's doing something that works.
Let's get after it.
I get that.
We have similar characters.
Right.
We can do
make
that.
It your own.
And you can't rush the work.
Right.
You can't do it. It cannot. You got to do it right. Otherwise, you end up looking like a fool, which is what they've done.
Yeah, and they're doing a Flash movie now. Who's another person that I guess
again
didn't get canceled or survived cancellation?
Yeah, he survived cancellation as well.
But yeah, Ben Affleck, the man, the myth, the legend, is coming back as Batman for that. So we're gonna have two Batmen
on the silver screen at the same time, but in different universes.
I think Pattinson's gonna wipe the floor.
Well, listen, the Flash is just okay.
Yeah.
Again, he's not a bad character.
Yeah.
But he's a supporting role.
Yeah. Which they did something cool that it was, you know, like, at the end of, they had a huge crossover event on the CW.
Yeah, in the Arrowverse.
In the Arrowverse, they had a huge crossover. Guess who showed up to meet the Flash that's there? The Flash from the Justice League showed up, you know, because they have a thing. Just use the characters that you've already established.
Right.
The Green Arrow, the Flash.
Yeah, take those people from the small screen. Bring them up to the big leagues, man. Yeah. It's okay.
It's like, hey, maybe they, you know, they're going to be going up against, you know, Henry Cavill or whatever. But at least you're going to have some kind of attachment and know the backstory with them.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Are you going to
Nobody's asking me.
Are you going to bring in Green Arrow at some time?
Right.
You know, why make a new Green Arrow when you've got a perfectly good one already?
Yeah.
You know, they've got a great Canary.
Yeah.
You know, like all of these great characters that they've developed on their CW shows.
Right.
They're just like,
Yeah. Whatever.
We don't need them.
Yeah. Not
We're just gonna make new ones.
It's ridiculous.
So
that's our opinion.
That's a shame.
And before we go,
figure it out.
Before we go, I had a fan reach out to us.
Okay.
And there needs to be some clarification from last week's episode.
All right.
So I will spell it out slowly.
Not print a retraction.
Yes. We were discussing how the name Karen should be changed to Ellen.
Yes.
ELLEN.
As in degenerous.
Correct. Was not any other name.
Who is now a well-known psychopath.
Yeah. She's just firing people. Place and blame, people. Place and blame. But anyway.
So yes, Ellen.
Ellen.
I don't know.
Don't be an Ellen. Don't be a Chad.
Don't be an Ellen. Don't be a Chad.
There you go.
Oh man. Well, it's time to get to work.
Once again.
On many, many things.
Yes.
So. All right. Well, hey, just so you know, we do have a new episode of Cruisin' coming out this Friday.
Yes.
So make sure you check that out.
It's a whole lot of fun.
We took some friends along for a ride on the Ride Prescott puzzle ride. We had a really, really good time.
A lot of fun.
Cannot wait to show you guys that. In the meantime, though, definitely
there's so many secrets.
So many secrets. We editing is going to be fun.
Yeah,
for me because
it's like
and
you
I
go
say
to
fun,
locations.
and what I mean is like not that much fun.
Yeah,
because I got to make sure that we're not giving away any secrets and things like that.
Right.
If you want to book yourself a puzzle ride, though, go to puzzleride.com, enter the promo code Rockstar, and you'll get a nice little discount off of that as well.
Yes.
So
yeah, we worked that out.
But yeah, good. Check out that video. It's coming this Friday.
Yes.
So I think that's going to do it.
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah. Until next time, he's Tucker.
He's Beard.
And we're out.